Hi, today in this video, I'm going to talk to you about something that can really help manage your digital well-being to have that positive relationship with the digital world, but also really improve your focus and attention, as well as helping to lower your screen time as well. And that is the one screen rule. So picture this, probably very familiar to you scene. You've had a really busy day. There's a new Netflix series out and you have been so excited for its release. For me, it's the next series of The Crown. But you've got this like night planned of, yeah, I'm going to get on that sofa. I'm going to get a chamomile tea or a glass of wine. I'm going to put my feet up. I'm going to get all snuggly and I'm going to watch this new Netflix series and I cannot wait. And you put it on and 3 minutes into it, you find yourself reaching for your phone and you start scrolling. Now, it might be that a notification popped up or one of the actors on the screen, you think, who is that? He's familiar. What else has he been in? I'll just Google his name. We've all been there, haven't we? So excited to watch something. And then instead, we can't find ourselves caught in the scroll. And then time passes and we go, oh, I don't even know what's happened. I haven't even been paying attention. Let's set another scene. You're in the middle of a Zoom meeting. You've said your bit, and now it's the turn of other people in the meeting, and you're really struggling to kind of listen and pay attention and focus. So you think, even though you're on camera, you just have a little sneaky little snatchy zoom at the side, scroll, sorry, at the side using your phone, and no one will ever know that you're actually just scrolling on your phone instead of listening to them. And let's paint a third picture here. Again, in a work scenario, you're at your desk, you're busy working on a project, but you've got 3 different display screens that you use. The one that you're working on. Then at the side here, you might have your email inbox. And then on this side, you might have another screen that's showing your Teams chat. So you can constantly see new emails coming in and you can constantly see new Teams chat messages coming through. Now, in all these scenarios, there's one thing that is going to pay the price of you using these multiple screens, and that is your focus and attention. Now, even though we think we're great at multitasking, or there is that myth that particularly women are good at multitasking, in fact, it's not entirely true. Yes, in some scenarios we can multitask. For example, I listen to a podcast while I'm doing my workout in the gym, because that's 2 different things. I can listen at the same time as moving my body. However, if I tried to listen to 2 different podcasts in each ear, that's not going to work. I'm only either going to be able to pay attention to one and have no idea what's going on in the other, or I'm really going to struggle to pay attention to both. Similarly, if I'm trying to watch the telly, but my eyes are elsewhere on my phone and scrolling, I'm not going to see what's happening because I can't do that kind of multiple focus from one to the other. Particularly if you're also watching videos on your phone while watching the telly and you've got that audio as well, that auditory blast from 2 different things going on. So yes, multitasking is possible if it involves different kind of channels. But if it's the same channel, if it's our eyes that are needed in both tasks, if it's our ears that are needed in both tasks, for example, it's not going to happen. We cannot multitask. So we need to eliminate a screen, hence the one screen rule. Now, this will really help you improve your focus and attention. Plus, you'll actually be able to watch things like Netflix series and know what's happening and pay full attention. And you know when you've had a really good Netflix series or whatever, BBC, ITV, whatever it is on, you know it's really good when you don't actually reach for your phone because you're so enthralled. But sometimes if we reach for our phone, we lose track of what's happening. And then as a result, we kind of go, oh, I'm not that into this because I don't really even know what's going on. And we reach for our phone even more. So for focus and attention, it is far better to just focus on that one screen, the Netflix series. In a work context, if we're trying to work on a really important project, but there's emails pinging on a screen, there's Teams chat pinging on another screen, our focus is going to keep going. Even if we think, oh, I'm going to come back and answer those once I finish this, I need to really get this done, I'll come back and answer those chat messages, or I'll go through my inbox after. If we can see them, our focus is already taken away. And in a meeting, if we want to know what's going on, we need to be making sure we're paying attention. Otherwise, we can be in that awkward situation where we get asked a question, we don't actually know what the question was. So that's where the one screen rule really helps with our focus and attention. But as well as that, a lot of the time with the other screens we're using, they're also kind of depleting our well-being, really. If we're in a self-care situation, like snuggling down, watching a Netflix series, and then we start scrolling instead, we're probably going to end up stressing our body more than relaxing our body. So it's really important for our own well-being as well that we're not kind of bombarding ourselves with multiple screens. As humans, we aren't designed to be staring at screens all day, let alone multiple screens. So for our own well-being, it's also really important to focus on the one screen rule. Plus, it's going to help reduce our screen time. So if you're sick of the amount of time you're spending scrolling on your phone, the one screen rule is going to really help with this, because you're going to be focused on whatever else it is that you're looking at that time rather than your phone. And there's a few things you can do that will help with this. The most obvious one is keep the other screens away from you or turned off. Or if it's like you've got multiple screens for work, don't have emails and Teams chat on them. If you want to focus on a project, turn those off. Maybe use all 3 screens for that project. If it's a case of your phone distracting you, put your phone away from where you can reach it. Therefore, you have to physically get up and go to your phone. And that friction means it's less likely to happen. It's a bit like if you fancy chocolate, but you haven't got any in the house, but you could nip to the shop down the road if you fancied a 10-minute walk there, 10-minute walk back. You think, actually, I don't fancy it that much. But if it was just in the cupboard in your kitchen and it was a 10-second walk, chances are you would go for that chocolate, because there's more friction there with it only being in the shop and not being in your house. So setting that friction up of stopping you accessing the other screen by keeping it out of sight really, really helps. Now, I do have an issue with sitting and paying attention. I kind of need to keep my hands busy at the same time. So one thing I did many years ago was taught myself to crochet. This means that I can watch a series, I can pay attention to the telly because I'm using my eyes and my ears mainly on the telly with the odd glance down. But because I've been crocheting for so long, it doesn't take too much of my attention anymore. So I can crochet while I'm watching a series and I can take it all in while also creating some kind of crochet masterpiece at the same time. And the fact that your hands are busy means as well that even if your phone was in reach, you're less likely to pick it up because your hands are busy doing something else. Similarly, if I'm in a work context, maybe I'm in a meeting with multiple people and other people are speaking and I really need to pay attention, I actually find that just having a little piece of paper and a pen next to me and just doing some doodling can really help focus my attention. Similarly, if I'm receiving some form of training, taking notes, even if the notes are provided for you, taking my own notes really helps me to hone in on what's being said. So I think a pen and paper at the side of you, just doodling away, because you're not taking anything in from doodling, you're just scribbling, you're just making little pictures. Whereas if you were scrolling on your phone, you're taking in things, you're paying attention, you're reading or you're watching. So that really helps too. Anything that keeps your hands busy, I think, is really good if you do struggle to focus and pay attention, because in this kind of world, most of us do, because we're so used to scrolling and doing something else at the same time. So I hope that's been useful. Are you going to try the one screen rule in your life, that you're only ever looking at one screen at a time, that you turn off one screen if you want to look at another? So you turn off the telly if you want to scroll on your phone, you put your phone out of sight if you want to watch the telly, and if you want to do deep focused work, that phone ain't there either. So could you think this is something that you could try? Let me know in the comments. And I would love it if you'd subscribe to my channel. I share lots of video tips like this that improve your digital well-being without you having to ditch the digital world for good, because that's not the world we live in, and the digital world is brilliant. How can we manage it to have a positive relationship with it? And last but not least, if you would like to reduce your own smartphone use, then I have a short course that can help with that. I will pop the link below, and I'll see you in a future video. Take care.